for our cookie jar conversations again. We're going to study on wisdom tonight. This morning, first thing, I put a little wisdom thing on my Facebook. It kind of goes along with wisdom. Lead with your ears, follow with your tongue, and let anger straggle behind you. In other words, be quick to listen and slow to speak and slow to anger. If a man is going to have anger, that doesn't bring righteousness, the righteous life that God desires. And I thought that was just a little wisdom tidbit to start my morning this morning. You get me started right.
Yes, yes.
So,
well, you know, I looked up, I was looking up on wisdom, and I found what I've got tonight on D. James Kennedy's site, and I thought it was really good. First of all, it said the answer to the question, what is wisdom, seems rather like it should be a simple answer, you know, that wisdom is the appropriate application of knowledge. And that's true. But reviewing wisdom in the Bible, it is an invaluable virtue that is deep, immeasurable, priceless, and rare. And he compared it like saying Jesus is the Redeemer, which is true. Yet our Redeemer is infinitely more than just Jesus is our Redeemer. Mm-hmm. That is wisdom. And gave the scripture, Proverbs 1:20-22 says, wisdom cries aloud in the street. In the markets she raises her voice. At the head of the noisy streets she cries out. At the entrance of the city gates she speaks. How long, O simple ones, will you love being simple? And they put a little story with this that it says that the Lord offers wisdom freely. However, most don't bother to ask, and therefore they don't receive. Wisdom is a plenteous crop with a meager harvest. Wisdom personified cries out in the street, I am here. I bring great blessings. Thus, we have the proverb. Mm-hmm. But busy pedestrians walk briskly by, perhaps only glancing in contempt at its peculiar place. A busy man late for an appointment is put off by her offer to give wisdom. My word, what an embarrassment. You know, there it is. She's not a beggar, but is annoyingly worse. She offers her treasure to anyone who will pause and receive. How ludicrous. Get out of my way. I'm late. Others ignore her. Some even avoid her. She holds wealth, happiness, and abundant life. But the sweet voice with her kind offer is drowned out by the urgent noises of practicality and utility and self-reliance. Rather than asking God for wisdom, which James 1:5 tells us that if we ask or if we lack wisdom, let us ask of God. And he who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given him. But we just try to do everything on our own. Mm-hmm. We don't ask for wisdom. And the Lord knows we need it.
Mm-hmm. On down, I think it's that scripture, on down past there it says, you know, if you act like you know it all, yeah, that's not wisdom.
No.
And if you give off the character that you know everything,
right,
you don't. You can have knowledge and you can have understanding and not have wisdom.
That's right.
You know, you can know the book, or
yes,
you know, but if you don't have wisdom, you're not putting that to work.
Right.
You know, if you've got the wisdom, you can use knowledge and understanding.
Yes. I agree. Yes.
But
well, when I was told of this week's theme, my mind went to Solomon.
Yes.
And so I did a quick Google search, and it's still, Solomon is still widely regarded as the wisest man to ever live, according to Google.
All right.
And we, in 1 Kings 3, we find Solomon is visited in a dream. And the Lord visits him and he asks what it is that he desires. And he says, "Now, Lord my God, you have made your servant king in place of my father David, but I am only a little child and do not know how to carry out my duties. Your servant is here among the people you have chosen, a great people, too numerous to count and number." So even Solomon, he's young, and he's put in a position that is too great for him, and one that he doesn't feel prepared for. And in verse 9 he continues, "So give your servant a discerning heart, to govern your people and to distinguish between right and wrong. For who is able to govern this great people of yours?" EnduringWord.com summarizes this as this: "Give to your servant an understanding heart." Solomon asked for more than great knowledge. He wanted understanding. And he wanted it in his heart, not just something that was head knowledge. Actually, the ancient Hebrew word translated understanding is literally hearing. So Solomon wanted a hearing heart and one that would listen to God. In response, the Lord said, "So God said to him, since you have asked for this and not for long life or wealth for yourself, nor have you asked for the death of your enemies, but for discernment in administering justice, I will do what you have asked. I will give you a wise and discerning heart, so that there will never have been anyone like you, nor will there ever be. Moreover, I will give you what you have not asked for, both wealth and honor, so that in your lifetime you may have no equal among kings. And if you walk in obedience to me, keep my decrees and commands as David your father did, I will give you a long life." Solomon could have asked for a great wealth. He could have asked for health, a long life, or even great fame. But because he sought wisdom and a discerning, understanding heart, all those things were added to him as well. So with wisdom comes great blessing.
Right. I love that, yes.
Yeah, and that's what we should strive for, wisdom. There's two things that brings wisdom to us. Number one is instruction. We're taught that we need to turn our lives to Jesus. We're taught from a little kid that we need to get saved and turn our lives from evil to the good, and we need to know Jesus. Getting saved is the first step to obtaining wisdom. Then devotion is number two. When we study the Word, get in the Word, and see the value of wisdom and seeking to learning more and more, and we'll learn to treasure that.
Yes.
And then that will come to us. Proverbs 3 verses 14 and 15 tells us that wisdom is worth more than silver, it profits more than gold does, and it's more precious than rubies. It's something that we should strive for wisdom. Like I said earlier, I can be smart, I can be book smart,
Right.
and act like I understand everything. But if I don't have that wisdom to follow that up, it's just not being used. Let's see, what else did I put? Oh, I wanted to read you over in Proverbs 3, 14 through 24. Let's start with 13. "Happy is the man who finds wisdom, and the man who gains understanding. For her proceeds are better than the profits of silver, the gain more than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies, and all the things that you may desire cannot compare to her. Length of days is in her right hand, in her left hand riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and her paths are peace. She is a tree of life who take hold of her, and happy are all who retain her. The Lord by wisdom founded the earth, by understanding he established the heavens. By his knowledge the depths were broken up, and the clouds dropped down the dew. My son, let them not depart from your eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion, so they will lift your life to your soul and grace to your neck. Then you will walk safely in your way, and your foot will not stumble. When you lie down, you will not be afraid, and when you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. We need wisdom. We need wisdom for making decisions, important decisions in our lives. We need wisdom in raising our children. We need wisdom in just the decisions that we make in our normal life, in purchases that we make, in places that we go. You know, we need wisdom to guide us.
Yes.
And if we'll seek it, we will receive it. The word says, who lacks wisdom, let him ask. God gives it, and he gives it plentiful,
Yes.
generously. All you have to do is ask. Thanks for joining us tonight. We love you.